Welcome back to another video, guys. So, here's the deal. You guys know I'm a big football fan. And the other day was Thursday, the first game of the season. We watched the Chiefs beat the Texans pretty soundly. So I went ahead and I made my predictions. Now, I made these today, but I did not, let the game the other day affect it, because obviously anyone watching the Texans get smacked like that could let them drop. But I'm just going to go through and give you my prediction for you guys. I'll give you guys records, and then I'll give you guys MVP, and then I'll give you Rookie of the Year as well. So I'm going to start with the AFC. I'm going to go with the AFC North because that's the division that's closest to me. I think the winner of the AFC North ends up being Baltimore at 11-5. Now, I think second in the division ends up being Cleveland with 9-7. Pittsburgh will be third at 9-7, but Cleveland will hold the tiebreaker, and I think Cincinnati goes 6-10. Now, I say this because I think Cleveland really has improved. They have a better coach this year. They have a more competent Baker Mayfield. I think they'll really improve. Everyone knows that Lamar Jackson is fantastic, and I'm also, I guarantee that's going to win. The reason I put Pittsburgh so low is I'm not so sure how Ben's going to play. There's a real possibility that he ends up getting hurt, possibly ends up missing some more time. So I think there's just a real possibility that he has to sit a little bit. So I'm going to go and move to the AFC East now. The AFC East, I have Buffalo winning. Everyone going into the season when Tom Brady left said, this is Buffalo's year. They almost won last year. They literally, I think they were 10-6 last year. Made the playoffs. So, Buffalo, in my opinion, is going to be 11-5, I think. New England's going to be 8-8. Now, I have this marked as the worst division in football right now because you just don't know. With New England, if they had still had Tom Brady, I'd put them obviously winning. I think Cam Newton's fantastic. You just don't know what Cam you're going to get. So I have New England 8-8, Miami at 5-11, and I think the Jets are going to have one of the worst years possible. They're going to go 3-13. Now, I like Sam Darnold as a player. I like the fact that he's pretty good, but I really want to see what he can do. They lost Robbie Anderson. They lost some serious talent, so I'm not sure how much they can hold their own. Now, AFC South is next, and it's going to be weird to hear one of these teams with the record I have them at, but number one in the AFC South is going to be Houston with 9-7. Now, I told you guys I didn't let that factor in, and I didn't, but I also haven't been as insanely sold on Houston. Even going into the other game the other day, they struggle. You struggle with them because you just don't know what kind of team you're going to get. Deshaun Watson's a superstar, that's obvious. But in the end of the day, you just never know who is going to show up. They have Randall Cobb, they have Brandon Cooks, but you don't know who's going to be their number one guy. It could be Kenny Stills, it could be Will Fuller. So next up is Indianapolis at 8-8. Now, you're probably wondering, where's Tennessee? I have them at 8-8 as well. I have Indianapolis being 2 because I think they're going to win the tiebreaker. With the addition of Phillip Rivers, I think that's a fantastic addition. He's a great quarterback. They've been one step away. They just needed a true quarterback since Andrew Luck left. I'm sorry, not left. He retired. So I think Phillip Rivers can be that guy. And now I think obviously everyone agrees the worst team in the league right now is going to be Jacksonville. I put them at 2-14. I think they're tanking. I feel really bad for Gardner Minshew because this guy is going to play pretty well. He's going to play his heart out. And then they're going to draft Trevor Lawrence. I think that's pretty obvious. And if not, one of the teams I'm going to mention later will definitely draft him. Now, the final side of the AFC is who I think will come out of the AFC. Again, I think number one in the AFC West is Kansas City at 13-3. I think they're going to dominate again. And once again, this is not counting Thursday. I mean, of course, the record is there, but you can see that Patrick Mahomes is just so good. This guy he's amazing. So I had to put them ahead. Now, second is a little surprising, and I think it's going to make a few people mad. I'm going to put Los Angeles 8-8. Now, Tyrod Taylor we forget that Tyrod Taylor led the Bills to the playoffs all on his own, basically. The guy's a good player. He knows what he's doing. He's competent. He's been behind Phillip Rivers for about 3 years now, learning that system. He has fantastic weapons. He has, I almost said Melvin Gordon. He has Austin Eckler. He has Mike Williams. He has Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry. There's so many fantastic players with him and a fantastic defense. Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram, just some outstanding players. And I think next up is going to be Denver at 6-10. I think Drew Lock is going to play very well. Losing Von Miller as your defensive anchor is something that really is going to hurt this team. He is their guy. He is the man they look to. He is the true captain of this team, and losing him for probably the entire season is going to hurt them a lot. Now, fourth, I have Vegas at 6-10 as well, the Raiders. I have them at 6-10 because they're going to have a really big quarterback scramble. I think when Marcus Mariota gets healthy, and if Derek Carr doesn't fully play up to his abilities, I think you're going to see a lot of shuffling there, which can cause a lot of chemistry issues. Not a lot of faith in the management. I've still never been a big John Gruden fan, so I think that you can really see a chance with them to just really slip and struggle. Now, since I started in the AFC North for the AFC North, I'm going to start with the NFC North. This is my division. I'm a Packers fan through and through. I tried to be unbiased about this, but I do think the Packers will go 11-5. I think they're going to win the division. I don't foresee them going past the second round. I don't think they improved enough. They lost some players. They lost Blake Martinez. They lost Jimmy Graham. They have Jair Alexander still. They have Kevin King, but just not enough, in my opinion. Darnell Savage is fantastic on the defense, but I just don't think they have enough. Of course, they still have Zadarius Smith. I'm sorry, it's going off about all the players they have, but it's not going to be enough for them to really do anything. So I definitely think they'll win the division because it's their division to win. They are the best team in that division for sure. Now, the next team, I have Minnesota at 9-7. The reason I put them at this is because Kirk Cousins is a bit careless on the field and off the field. He has went out and multiple times and stated he doesn't care about the coronavirus. He does not care. He's very against masks. And I think that in this NFL right now, you have to factor that in because there's a good chance he's going to miss 2 or 3 weeks because he'll have come in contact with somebody or they'll test him and he's a little high in temperature, so they'll make him sit. So they might lose their starting quarterback due to him just being very willy-nilly with the rules. Now, I know I'm not going to get into politics on this channel because I really don't like to, but you have to pay attention to that. We've already seen numerous amounts of players who will not play the season. Tevin Coleman will refuse to play. Multiple players are now on the IR due to the COVID, so you have to focus in that they're going to lose him for at least 4 games because he just doesn't care. He's went out and said he doesn't care. So you have to understand that that's going to screw them over majorly. Now, number 3, for me, if there is a quarterback carousel, you're gonna struggle. That's why I put Chicago at 5-11. Now, Chicago is a very good team. Khalil Mack's one of the best, if not the best, defensive player in the NFL. But this quarterback carousel of Mitch Trubisky, also starting Trubisky was a really dumb idea. I know Nick Foles didn't play well last year, but he was also injured with a horrible Jacksonville team. They have some really good talent in there with Allen Robinson. They have some they also added Jimmy Graham, I believe. So that's another really good tight end talent along with Trey Burton they also have. So to not start Nick Foles is a really, really bad idea. And they're going to lose about 3 or 4 games just due to that alone before they throw Nick Foles in, who will probably not play well because he didn't have enough time. Now, the second worst team in the league, in my opinion, actually I guess they're technically tied with the Jets. I have Detroit at 3-13. I just don't think they're going to play well. They're obviously shopping Matt Stafford. And the reason I said that you kind of have to keep an eye out for a different team is I think that the Jets will end up, I think the Lions will end up moving Matt Stafford so they can try to draft Trevor Lawrence. Matt Stafford has had plenty of time there. He's played very well. There's just been no success under him. He's went to the playoffs, I believe, once or twice, losing to the Cowboys in a game he should have won, to be honest. So I think there's just a lot of proof that Matt Stafford is not their guy anymore. They don't have faith in him. Matt Patricia is a terrible coach. He ran out Darius Slay. And they don't have much. They have a really weird thing going on with the running backs. Kerryon Johnson, you don't know if he's going to play. You don't know if their recent draft pick's going to play. You just don't know who you're going to get. Now, it's probably the most controversial one on this channel because some of my friends are watching this, and they might get a little mad at me for this, but NFC East time. I have number 1 being Dallas. I think Dallas is going to take a step forward. Dak Prescott's in a contract year. He wants to play. He wants to get big money. He knows he's either playing for the Cowboys to re-sign him or he's playing to get a starting job elsewhere. So he is going to play out of his mind. Also, they have stated that they want to make Zeke the main focus of their offense, and that's how they win. They win their games when Zeke is their main focus. Now, also, Mike McCarthy is a pretty good coach. He's not amazing. I would know plenty about him. He doesn't make a lot of adjustments, but he makes more than, I'm forgetting his name. Their former coach. I don't know why I'm struggling on his name. He makes a lot more than he did before. I think he's a much better coach, so I think you're going to see definitely an improvement on them. Next up, I have Washington at 7-9. I think they're going to take a step up. Even though they don't have a football name, they don't have a name. Oh my gosh, they're playing this week without a name. All right, Washington football team. That's who they're called, and they're going to be playing this week. But I just think that they're going to take a step up. I really am sold on Dwayne Haskins. Also, Alex Smith is now healthy. That's going to be a big motivation for them. I also am a big fan of John Gruden. I'm forgetting these guys' names. I'm a big fan of their coach. Ron Rivera. Jeez. I'm a big fan of Ron Rivera. I think he's a really solid coach. He knows what he's doing. They also have some really good talent. I mean, adding Chase Young in the adding Chase Young in the draft was probably the smartest choice they could have made. He's fantastic. He knows what he's doing. He's just one of the best defensive players in the league already, and you can see it just by his workouts. So next up, I have New York at 3-13. So, let's look at this. 1, 2, 3 teams are 3-13, then one is 2-14. New York is horrible. They're rough, man. They lost Saquon last year due to injury for a lot of time. Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. I just don't think they have the chemistry they have right now. They didn't add too much on. Yes, they got a guy from my team, Blake Martinez. I think he's going to be fantastic for them. I just don't foresee them taking any steps forward. I more see them taking steps back. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I just don't foresee them taking any steps forward at all. Next up is the NFC South. I have New Orleans at 12-4. I think Drew Brees is bound to win. Drew Brees is bound to make it to the Super Bowl. Again, he has to. He is that kind of quarterback. He is fantastic, and he only has about 2-3 years left before Jameis Winston probably takes the helm in New Orleans. Next up, I have Tampa Bay at 10-6. Now, a lot of people will think it's a little weird putting Tampa at 10-6. I just don't think this is enough time for Brady. It's not the right team. If he wanted to win a Super Bowl, he should have went to Los Angeles, I think. He's a fantastic player. They have good weapons. They have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Now they have O.J. Howard. They have Gronk. But I just don't know if now's the time. Brady doesn't adjust well to a new system. He's been in the same system since he was drafted in 1996, I believe it was. The guy has been playing there for over 20 years. So I just don't foresee him really turning into this just franchise saver that Tampa was hoping for. And they might have to be looking for a quarterback in the next 2 years because I don't foresee him re-signing another contract after this. Now I have, at the last 2 spots, I have Carolina and Atlanta tied. I just think they're both good teams, but I don't think they have what it takes to stand out in this division. I'm going to try to move really quickly because I realize it's already like 13 minutes long. I'm going to speed through this last one. NFC West, it goes Seattle 12-4, Los Angeles 10-6, San Francisco 8-8, Arizona 7-9. This is the best division. This is the best division in the NFC, no doubt. Seattle's fantastic. Russell Wilson's the second best quarterback in the NFL behind Patrick Mahomes. Los Angeles is bound to have a comeback year. While I'm not a massive fan of Jared Goff, I think he has a good system going on there. Has some great players with him. San Francisco is going to struggle a bit because of the Super Bowl. Their confidence is down a bit, and I think Arizona is bound to be the best team in the league soon. So, finally on to MVP. For me, I think this year it's always going to be a quarterback. Sadly, I think last year should have been Michael Thomas, but of course I understand why Lamar got it. I think you're going to see a bit of a surprise. I don't foresee it being either Lamar or Pat Mahomes. I foresee it being Deshaun Watson. Now, while I have them at 9-7, I think he's just going to be a crazy good. He played pretty well. He just did not have the protection he needed. And if it's not Deshaun Watson, I have it end up being Ezekiel Elliott. Now, Ezekiel Elliott has bound for a bounce-back year. He's just going to go nuts. The guy is going to, in this new system, he's going to flourish more than anything else. Now, Rookie of the Year, I think that's obviously going to be Joe Burrow. And I think, if not him, maybe CeeDee Lamb. But I think that's all I'm going to have for predictions today, guys. If you guys enjoyed this, which I really hope you did, be sure to hit that like button, comment for more. Also, tell me who you think's going to win what. Let me know who your MVP is. I want to know hear from you guys. Even tell me who your favorite football team is. But if you guys enjoyed, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.